Alright guys, so today I'm going to be doing my tournament report from Gdansk Regionals that just happened this weekend. Today is Monday. I played in this tournament yesterday, so the weekend. In this video I'm going to be going, or if you're watching on live on stream, I'm going to go over why I played the deck I played, what changed the meta to why I played Maridon in the end, and I'm going to be taking you through the journey of my entire tournament run. So yeah, I'll just get straight into it. We're going to start at the Brazil Internationals. So at Brazil, I played Gardevoir. I ended up getting 128 at the event, and Gardevoir did very, very well. And I'm very well versed in Gardevoir. But after Brazil, it became pretty apparent, and a lot of my friends did very well as well. I put them here. Like you can see, it did really insane, but it kind of felt like this wasn't the time for Gardevoir. And there's a lot of reasons for that. A lot of things changed right after Brazil Internationals. One of the main things was Maridon did very, very well. Not only did it win, but we saw this list from top 16, which was this sort of turbo Maridon list from Anil, which was getting a lot of traction before the event. And in the end, it actually ended up getting played a ton. But it was pretty clear this deck has a ridiculously good Maridon Gardevoir matchup. Like insanely good, like 70-30, maybe better. And also Anti-Valiant as well has a positive Gardevoir matchup. At the very least I thought. I've been told by a lot of people, including people who played Anti-Valiant in the event, that the matchup isn't actually that good. I had not played the Gardevoir matchup into Anti-Valiant like at all. So like going into this, I was very unconfident in the matchup overall. So I thought that it would be better not to play Guardy for this event, like 100%. I was pretty set like the Monday after that there was no way I was gonna play Guardy. So picking decks. I had a couple decks to choose from, and it was honestly pretty tough. So if you have been paying attention this weekend, there's a good chance you haven't been. A lot of my friends ended up playing Entei Iron Valiant in Australia. Natalie Miller, Kaiwan, Christian Osbani, these people I usually practice with, they were all playing Entei Valiant. All like decided early on that they were playing Entei Valiant. And I said, yeah, you guys are absolutely brain dead stupid. I am not doing that. There is no way. Brent was me and Brent had the same idea. Like, you're actually so dumb. There is no way I'm doing that. Because that deck is absolutely terrible. Not playing Anti-Valiant. Gardevoir as well. Like, it's just, it didn't seem like the right time. And then Giratina as well was the other deck that Brent was considering. I didn't really feel versed enough. It was definitely my second choice was probably Giratina, but I didn't feel versed enough, and also didn't really feel too right. Like, it feels kind of slow right now. I think there's ways you can fix it, but the bad Gardevoir matchup is kind of tough, and I also, I like haven't played it enough to the point where I'm comfortable switching it in a week. So I've been playing a lot of ladder recently, and Sajin Park, the absolute GOAT, showed me a list that he had for Peony. Well, he played in an online 20, and he told me he was going to play in the online 20. He went like 3-3 in the online 20. But I got to see his list at least. And he had been playing Peony Maridon, 4 Peony Maridon, which I thought was just such a cool concept. Because like, when I was playing Maridon, like I tried some turbo Maridon lists, and it did feel like all I wanted to do like a lot of the time was Peony and just go as fast as possible. And I wanted to have a really good Gardevoir matchup because it was so heavily played in Brazil, like an insane amount in Brazil. It turns out it wasn't actually played as much this weekend, but it was still played like a decent amount. So here was the list that I ended on. And it was pretty close to the list here that Sajin I initially saw from Sajin. But I just wanted to basically run the most streamlined list possible. I really wanted to have a really good shot in the mirror, which running a bunch of techs like Tomb or Drapion didn't really feel like they helped me in. Because I did expect Maridon to be played a lot. Also, the Anti-Iron Valiant matchup I wanted to have a good matchup into, which in retrospect, I probably didn't really need to have a good matchup into. But I thought it was important regardless. Yeah, I really like the concept, and honestly, like I was kind of taking this tournament as more of a write-off, but I still really wanted to do well. I really wanted to get at least, get day 2, need to go 6-1 to get day 2 of the tournament, and I really wanted to get money after that. At least top 32, and then getting a top cut, first top cut of the season would have been absolutely great. Those were all the results I was going for going in. The plan for the whole deck is basically you just Peony, you get generators, and then you use the generators, and you have a super streamlined list, and like max the counts of everything you want to draw. There's 2 VIP, 2 nests in this deck because hitting basics really early is like important, and you really don't want to open ahead without Maridon. There's 3 Maridon. That's something people have also asked me about, because getting Maridon turn 1 is super important. Maridon is, in my opinion, the best starter in the deck. You can argue Raikou, but realistically, because just having Maridon in the opening hand is super important. Against things like Iron Valiant as well, I found that if you open basically anything except Maridon, you're in a really, really tough spot. Because like if you open Lumi, Muex, Squawk, like any, like even like obviously Mareep can just get donked. Any of these starters are so terrible because on your opponent's first turn they can just kill one. If you go first, they can just, you know, ping twice and kill it. Compared to if you go first and you start Miraidon, it can't die on the first turn if you don't like full bench, which is what you're trying to do. I wanted to run second Raikou and I wanted to run third boss, but I didn't find space for those cards in the end, so didn't end up running them. So now I'm going to go through all my rounds. So I will say some of it's a little bit foggy, but I do remember for the most part, and I wrote down basically everything I remembered. But part of it is foggy, is this round 1 against Roaring Moon. So basically, I ended up opting second, because with Miraidon, I'm always blind opting second. It's just better. 90% of your matchups, you want to go second. The only ones you want to go first in are like Gardevoir, DT, Mew. That's almost it. Like, basically everything else you want to be going second again. So, Roaring Moon. I went second, which is good. I'm favored in the matchup going second. He started like Morpeko, he started the one prizer. But the issue was I couldn't hit, he like did his thing. I couldn't hit my toe on attack. That's a massive issue. He like set up some Roaring Moons on the bench because after you whiff an attack, if they're going first, it's super likely that they're going to hit cross switch a kill on basically anything you have on the bench on turn 2. So once I whiffed the attack, I knew I was basically completely lost. It was going to be really hard. There's like very few ways you can win. So I obviously promoted my Mareep instead of Zapdos because I want my Mareep to die and then at least I have the Zapdos to kill his Roaring Moons. But then he just hits the cross switcher, kill my Miraidon, and it's borderline impossible for me to come back from there. At least if they have to Frenzied Gouging, you can use Iron Hands to kill them, but that didn't happen in this game. And second game is the exact same story. Op second, don't hit toe on attack, and I'm just behind the whole game. In this set, I lose. I don't think... In one of these first 2 sets, I got donked, and I think it happened in round 2. So I'm 0-1 going into round 2. Terrible start to the tournament. And the matchups is generally 50-50. I really want to be going 6-2 on day 1, so taking a loss early, having to go 6-1 from here is really bad. So I get into round 2. Okay, have to win this. Don't want to get donked. I think I got donked in this game 1. It might have been in round 1, but I think it was this game I got donked. Like, sick. Game 2. I get actually a pretty decent open hand. And then, so basically the way the deck works is my generators, it's a very high odds to hit in the early game. They have, each generator almost always has over 50% hit 2. As when I was calculating, most of the time, like I was between 60 and 75% hit 2 in the early generators, and then 90% plus hit 1. And so I hit like my first generator for 1, and then my second generator, I think he started Roaring Moon. So I just need to hit this 1 generator to get 1 energy, and I'm completely in the game. In a very good spot. I'm at like 90% odds to hit this 1 generator off my peony. I whiff, don't draw any more generators, can't attack. And for 4 games in a row, I don't get a single attack on turn 1 going second, which kind of sucks. I don't attack on the first turn. I don't get the attack before the Roaring Moon. Kind of just how the matchup goes. And then I don't really have an opportunity. There are some games where you can try and get in with Iron Hands, but I just couldn't get into a single game with Iron Hands. It's pretty flustered at this point. It's pretty disappointing to start 0-2. Now, Chien-Pao is a pretty good matchup because completely unsurprisingly, they're way slower than you. So if you hit your generators, you always get the first attack. Game 1, he started Chien-Pao, which is a really bad starter for them because then it means you can kill with Miraidon instead of Iron Hands. They really want to force you to kill with Iron Hands to just force you to run out of attackers on the first turn. But he starts Chien-Pao, pretty unfortunate for him. And I get a kill on Chien-Pao, and then he whiffs an attack on the next turn. So with Iron Hands, I get 4 prizes. Well, no. Actually, I think he hits the kill, and then I kill back with Miraidon. So now 4 prizes ahead. Oh, no, yes. So I get... Yeah. So I'm now 2 prizes ahead. I'm completely winning in this game. But I actually almost throw the game. Somehow. He has a... Chien-Pao, he has like a bunch of basics on board that it's like pretty annoying. I think he had like 3 Frigobacks. Like he went 3 Frigobacks for some reason, like 1 Bidoof Greninja, and then these last slots for Chien-Pao Iron Hands. And so I have Flaffy, and I end up not attaching to my Muex for some reason. I end up like going to Flaffy so I can retreat it in the worst case. But it's very unlikely to get stalled regardless. And then he ends up going for like the pretty obvious Greninja kill Flaffy, hit something, and then Iron Hands give 3 prizes. And because I didn't attach my Muex, I can't Greninja kill his 2 Frigivax. I'm like kind of hitting myself. I almost lose. He does whiff the Iron Hands on the next turn. So I get the win in game 1. Very fortunate, almost through, which would have been, you know, very much throwing me off at 0-2. And it was like am I really throwing this game? But don't end up losing. And then game 2, I like Donga Manaphy, I'm pretty sure. So that was that. And fortunately, I do win that round. So at least give myself a chance in the tournament. It's still looking very bad though. 1-2, I literally have to win the next 6 rounds. So any loss here puts me completely out of the tournament. Round 4, I hit Gardevoir EX. This guy was running Drifloon. I was definitely at the bottom tables, I could tell. That's when I knew for sure that I was in the absolute gutter. But it was a Gardevoir Drifloon. And then game 1, I end up hitting no attacks, no generators. I just hit absolutely nothing. I like do some things. I end up hitting like an arm press to get 1 prize. And then he goes Drifloon with a Bravery Charm to kill my Iron Hands. Like, yeah, today was certainly one of the days. And it was that was like, you know, terrible. So I don't end up getting anything real. And then, so I don't really get anything in that game. And then the game 2 and 3, I go turn 1 Iron Hands. I up second, and then I hit Iron Hands before he attacks. I hit turn 2 Iron Hands. I up first. Hit turn 2 Iron Hands to kill his Ralts, and then he does some things. He doesn't even get a Mirage Step down. He gets like at least maybe 1 Curlier. A boss kill the Curlier with my Iron Hands. It's taking 4, and then win the game next turn. And then in game 2, I go Amp. He goes Draw Pass. He goes first. Draw Pass. I go Amp. He goes Draw Pass again. Amp. Game over. So get a pretty easy win against a Gardevoir there. Pretty fortunate games, but Gardevoir is a very good matchup. And so I was pretty happy to see a Gardevoir in this round, but yeah. Opponent definitely didn't have the most consistent deck either. They had the Drifloon and the Bravery Charm and stuff. It was scary for a minute, but not for too long. Now, round 5. This round I remember pretty vividly because it was pretty insane. So I'm pretty sure he went first. I do remember what the prize was. I'm pretty sure he went first. And then I went turn 1 Amp into a Comfy. And then he doesn't hit the attack. He has to Abyss Seek, and then I hit the Miraidon attack. So that's where we're starting. I'm 4 prizes ahead in the first game against this Giratina. And then the game gets a lot harder. So he goes for a pretty obvious Roxanne Path Giratina attack. I'm like, all right, well, I've got nothing else. I don't draw anything. My deck is very, very weak against Roxanne Path. That's why this matchup is not really that good. Sometimes the Amp gets them, but even 4 prizes down, they have really good odds of winning in. I don't have Raichu down. I don't have anything good down. So he goes for the Roxanne Path. I don't draw any. My deck is incredibly weak to Roxanne Path with just the Muex as my only real draw engine in the entire deck. So I just have to Arm Press. I don't have Raichu, but I do have Sealstone on board. That's the one thing I had. But it did make a lot of sense to use it this time because I would have to hit 2 off the... If I went for Peony, I would have to go for Nest Ball and Generate and then hit 2. And then hit 2 to attach to Raichu to actually have the kill. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to hold it for next turn. I have good outs to top deck Energy or anything to Raikou and kill his Giratina. Yeah. So I'll have good odds to Raikou and kill his Giratina if I hit Energy or basically anything good. And so I attack. He uses a different Giratina to kill my... he uses a second Giratina that he had on bench to kill my thing. Like, all right. I go promote Mew again. And basically, all I have to do is draw an Energy or a boss. And then I actually draw this... I'm pretty sure I draw the... No. I don't draw the Stadium Bomb. I don't draw anything. I top deck. I don't have Energy or boss. I don't have any way to power up any Pokemon to actually knock out his Giratina that's on bench. I don't have any way to kill anything. And so I end up going Sealstone for Peony for... No, I go Sealstone for Beach Court to try and hit Energy Boss. Don't hit it, as very expected at that point. Very few Astro Boss in deck. all I hit is the energy. So I just have to energy to my Squawk ability. And because he lost impacted on the last turn, he only has 1 grass on his Giratina. And so he was also playing incredibly, you know, no shade. He was, you know, a pretty slow player. So if I was to lose this game, I'd have essentially no chance of winning the set. We were already like 25 minutes deep or 20-ish minutes deep. It would be very, considering how fast he was playing, I was playing very fast, but he wasn't playing that fast. So it would have been very tough for me to win the set. And this game wasn't even really that long. So I'm like, all right, have to go into my Squawk, attach, motivate, to just attach energies to the bench, to my Raichu that I got down, I think. And then he goes... He goes super odd. He puts back a Psychic and a Grass. He goes Colress. He whiffs the Psychic Energy or the Mirage Gate. Has to pass and just completely lose the game to my Raichu. And my Motivate saved me because I had just enough energy to knock out his Giratina with my Raichu. So thank God, absolutely saved in that game. And then game 2 he full bricks. He goes Manaphy, Ninja, use Ninja, pass. I go boss, kill his Ninja. Game just ends. Unfortunate for him. But I get the win in round 5. Round 6, opponent did show up. We take those. We absolutely take those. My opponent literally just straight up didn't show up, which was crazy good. And I don't even want to say every single person around me was there. I was the only person with an opponent that didn't show up at 3-2. Apparently he's playing Entei Valiant, which as far as I know is not a great matchup. So tournament could have ended here, but thank God. God bless to that guy. Round 7, I hit a Qianpao. Good matchup again. Really need to win this in the last round. At this point, I'm like, okay, you know, like we're kind of coming back here. So it was looking pretty good. So I start the... So let me write. So game 1, I like don't get any setup. And he absolutely destroys me. He gets, you know, fully set up. I can't attack for the first few turns. I don't get anything. So I'm down like 4 prizes, just concede. Game 2, I donk him, which was great. I think it was Manaphy as well. It might have been Frigibax. It was something crazy. I just donked him. Like it was just over. It was a really fast game. He might have had 2 basics and I killed 1 and then he just lost. It was something like that. Like he didn't have Frigibax on turn 2. Game was completely over. Game 3 is a crazy game. Basically what happens is I go Iron Hands, bench Iron Hands, attach to bench, pass. I have nothing. I have literally nothing. He goes and he plays Pokestop for me. He plays down Pokestop. And like does his thing, whatever, passes. He doesn't hit an attack. I go Pokestop, discard 3 cards, absolutely nothing. It's like energies and other stuff. Get nothing, get absolutely nothing. Pass again. My hand at this point has like Generator, Switch Card, Beach Card, Energy. Like if I get anything off this Pokestop, I'm completely fine. I'm just going to one-choice Qianpao. He goes, does his turn. He whiffs attack again. Passes with Qianpao active. I think he went retreat to Qianpao to get more energies to Ninja to have higher odds of getting his attack. Completely whiffs the attack. I draw absolutely nothing. It's like an energy. Pokestop, I hit the Ultra Ball. I just got like Boss Flaffy in the process. I'm like, okay. By the way, we have more than enough time to finish. So if I lost this game, I was literally out of the tournament completely. I like discard Boss Flaffy. Like, who cares? Those cards can go. Like, the most important cards in my deck. Lit. I go Ultra Ball, get Miraidon, Generator, switch card to Raichu, get Peony. Like, I'm popping off. I hit Sealstone. I like Miraidon. I've already set up another Miraidon. Like, the game's basically over. I kill his Qianpao. I'm fully set up. And from there, I just remember steamrolling him. Like, it was... I was so saved by his Pokestop, because otherwise I would have been fully bricked and end up getting barely the win there. But it does not get any easier, because I hit a Charizard Bib, which, if you've ever heard anyone talk about Turbo Miraidon ever, is the worst matchup possible. You cannot hit a worse matchup than Charizard Bibarel. And I'm bricking it. But, yeah, so game 1, he only goes 1 Charmander. He goes Bidoof, Charmander. And on my turn 1, I'm able to hit the Raichu. So I up second. I win the coin flip. I up second against this Charizard. I go I go Raichu, I hit Generator, I hit enough energies. I like Seal Stone for Boss. Boss kill is Charmander. I'm able to get an Iron Hands down with an energy, as far as I remember as well. So I kill his only Charmander. He's left with just Bidoofs. He goes, has his turn, like he benches 2 Charmanders. He's fine set up. Like, okay. I go Amp, kill his, I hit like the Generator, hit everything. I Amp, kill his Bidoof. Okay, we're chilling. He then goes and hits his Zard, kills my Iron Hands. It's 3-6. I'm ahead. I have a good chance of winning if I can ever set up an Iron Hands, and I do. I hit like the nuts generator for like 2 more generators for 2. Hit all my generators. I'm able to Amp, kill something on the bench, and then Boss kill with some other attacker on the next turn after my Iron Hands dies. Like absolutely perfect. Game 2. So, okay, we game up. I actually realistically consider offering the tie because this matchup is so bad. Like, you know what? I'm just going to play. Like, I have some tech for this matchup. I know what I'm doing. If I can just get into the game, I'll be okay. So, game 2. He starts Entei, which means I have a realistic chance. Him starting Entei gives me more than enough of a chance. He opted second. I don't remember exactly how this game goes, but I remember what the end game looked like. So the early game goes is kind of usual. I get down to 3 prizes to his 4. He's only taken 1 kill, and I've taken 3 prizes on single prizes. The Entei is still in play. That was in play at the beginning of the game. I like draw. I don't hit the boss, and he has a Charmeleon and an Entei on the bench. This is only 2 bench Pokemon. So I hit boss. I don't hit boss, so I need to Seal Stone for the boss, and I need to hit boss next time, which I've already used Lumineon. So if you've ever played Miraidon, you know that hitting boss once you've already used Lumineon and Seal Stone is literally impossible. I boss his Charmeleon, so I'm literally still in a bad spot. I boss his Charmeleon, kill with Raikou. I have no way of setting up an Iron Hands anymore. I've burned through too many generators. My Flaffy got absolutely punched at the beginning of the game, probably. Got discarded. I have no Flaffy. I have no way to get enough energies. All I have is like 2 attackers left, like a Raikou and a Miraidon probably. Yeah, and definitely a Miraidon. I have my Raikou. It has a Bravery Charm active. Bravery Charm active, and I have my Miraidon on the bench. And he doesn't have any draw support. He goes, Iono, if he hits Counter Catcher, you can kill my Miraidon and make it so I have no way to kill his Entei. He whiffs, and he Ionos me straight into the boss. I have the boss. I have the Zapdos on bench to kill his Entei. It's beautiful. I win the round. I'm at 6-2. I won 6 straight, and I'm going into round 9. Elated until I hit. He has a very favorable matchup. I don't know if he knows what I'm playing. I thought it's probably unlikely he knows what I'm playing. You know, so act cool. I'm like, might ID? No, I'll take it. You know, act cool the Gabor, and he takes the ID. Thank God. Matchup's terrible. I did really want to make day 2. I really did want to, just put myself in day 2 in this one because I wanted to at least give myself a good shot at making top 32. If I go 4-2 on day 2, I can make top 32. And if I go 5-1, I'll have a good shot. So if I get 5 wins, I have a good shot to make top 8. But if I go 4-2, I can make top 32. We start the next day. Thank God I got the tie against Gabor. Round 10. I hit another Zard EX. Pretty tragic to hit another Zard. This was a Zard Bib. I do have a lot of tech for this matchup though. I'm going to tell you guys how to play the Zard EX Bib matchup as well if you're interested. We start the game. Game 1, I go for this strat that I planned that against Zard Bib, and I only do this against Zard Bib, but this is the strat. So I went Raikou attack to kill his to kill like a 1 prize. I go up second. Thank God I get to go second because it really helps me. And I go Raikou, kill a 1 prizer. I don't want to go for Amp. I think it's too risky because he started really good. He started like double VIP. He got his full board up. So all right, this is too risky. I'm just going to go for the Amp. I'm just going to go for the Raikou. He then kills my Raikou with Zard EX. And then my strategy is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Miraidon for 220 on his Zard EX. Pray he whiffs boss to kill my Mew EX. And if he doesn't hit boss to kill my Mew EX, then I just basically I've become in a really good spot to win the game because I held back on the Iron Hands on turn 1. Like I have a lot of energy on my board. I put just energy on Raikou and Miraidon. So he goes Kenny Zard, kill my Raikou, and now we're 5-4 in prizes. So my Miraidon hit with the plan of amping the next turn and then going boss and kill something else. and going boss and then amp something else to take the final 2 prizes to win the game. So I go, okay, Miraidon, he doesn't hit anything. Very fortunate for me. He just hits me. I go, okay, kill him with Iron Hands, amp. And now I'm at 2 prizes. I completely skipped his Defiance belt. I completely skipped basically any way for him to take knockouts. He still has 4 prize cards remaining. And I think at some point he was forced to bench Lumi, so he made it even easier. I think I go for an arm press kill on Illuminion. Very, very simple standard win in that game. He then opts second. The game 2, he just full bricks, doesn't have anything. And that's the cool thing about Miraidon. If my opponent has slow starts, like, there's no getting out of it. Like, when I was playing Guardi, like, sometimes I would get slow starts, and just one rolls past, and I would be able to get out of it by my opponent not hitting attacks. But Miraidon, doesn't happen. So plot armor, 7-2-1. We come back from 0-2 to 7-2-1. I'm pretty happy about this. But unfortunately for me, this is the point where I saw the meta, and it was not looking good. If we look at this, 20% Mew VMAX, 13% Zard, my worst matchups. The Snorlax Storm matchup, I'm not convinced it's also favored. I have a lot of switch cards, and I've won the matchup a couple times, but it is pretty tough. And so the best matchup, if you look at these decks, like the Roaring Wind matchup's 50-50, the Tina Lost Zone matchup's like not even that good. The Miraidon matchups are 50-50. I'm looking at best at 50-50s across the board here. All of my good matchups basically disappeared. And unfortunately for me, going into the next round, it doesn't get easier. I hit the Urshi Intel, which not a great matchup. It's winnable though. Francesco, he's the guy who won Bilbao. The issue with this matchup obviously is Urshifu, but I have one strategy that's basically if I can amp the Inteleon V, I should have a pretty good chance to win the game because then I can 2-shot their Urshifu. But if I can't do that, then I'm completely screwed. So we go into the first game. I start Iron Hands attach pass. Pretty unfortunate. It was bound to happen eventually. And he just goes, he went first. I won the flip and opted second. I knew he was playing Urshi, and I do think it's better to opt second in the matchup because I'm really just hoping that they whiff their Vips and stuff, or they start Inteleon and then they can't retreat it, which if I give them Irida, maybe it makes it more likely that they actually retreat the Inteleon. I thought it was better to opt second. I might be wrong. That's what I did. I opt second. I go Iron Hands attach pass. He goes Urshi, kill me. Pretty unfortunate game. And then game 2, he actually starts the Inteleon. I up second again. So I actually can hit the amp, and if I hit that, I'll be in a super good spot. I Generator, I only hit 1. Generator again, I only hit 1 off my Peony. I only hit 1 again, and I'm forced, after my Squawk, my Peony, and everything, I'm forced to just arm press his Inteleon. Which unfortunately for me means I'm in a terrible spot because he can just chain Urshis and I have no real way to deal with them. I already committed 3 energies to my Iron Hands and I know other attackers because I was really hoping to hit an amp. And so he kills me and I try to kill his Urshifu just to get off the board and hope that he can't hit another one. But he's already set up Octillery, he just gets the Urshifu V down and I can't even hit a Stadium Bomb. I'm just completely dead in 2 turns, so pretty tough there. Against the Rapid Urshi. I still have a chance at top 8 if I can win all my rounds, but if I don't, then and I only win 3 out of the next couple rounds, then I can get top 32 still. So, but it doesn't get easier because I hit Mew. All right, Mew. It's a DTE Mew though, so I think it's a better matchup than the Fusion Mew. So I was still thinking like, yep, right, I have a good chance here. Game 1, I get to a really good start. I'm able to hit Genesec's like a turn 1 rope Genesect kill after opting second, I think. I think he was playing top first and I was playing top second because I saw he was Mew, but I didn't know if he was Fusion or DT. So I was like, all right, I'll just play safe, go second. I think that's better into Fusion. It's definitely worse into DT, but probably not by that much. So I'm second. Okay. Rope Miraidon kill. I hit like boss Raikou kill on the next turn, so it's now 2-4. And I just need to hit any gust on the next turn to win, or hit a Raichu kill, but unfortunately for me, Iron Path, there isn't really much I can do against that. He sets up 2 movie maxes like he should, and hitting boss is borderline impossible from there, so he ends up just killing me again, and it's very hard to win. Game 2, he gets a really bad start. He hits a Cramtails. So he has to Seal Stone for VIP as far as I remember, and he only really gets a few basics down. So essentially what happens is he's only able to set up one MUV, and he's not able to set up, he's only able to get one MUV and not two. So basically what that means is that I can use Escape Rope to take 2 prizes, which is really what I'm looking for in this matchup. If I have to use Boss turn after turn after turn, it's so impossible to win. But also I opted first because that's better in this matchup. I get a bunch of energy down onto the board, and I'm able to like hit a kill on a Genesect turn 1. He kills me back. I have another Marana set up. I got Flaffy set up, which is also an advantage of going first, is I can actually set up Flaffy on turn 2 before I peony. My hand, which makes hitting Flaffy much harder after I peony because my hand size goes really small. It makes it harder to use Ultra Balls. I might have also discarded my Flaffy by that point. But when you're going first, you don't have that disadvantage. I get my Flaffy down. I get a bunch of energies onto the board, and I'm actually chaining attacks pretty well. And I end up going rope, and then eventually he just whiffs a kill because he has no board. He just completely, he's like 2 Genesects and Mew at max his board at any time, and then he just whiffs a kill on my Miraidon in the games. Just over from there, I end up hitting the Raichu kill on his Mew V Max for my final 2 prizes. In game 3, he goes first. He starts Mew. He looks at his hand. He plays Cram. He flips. Tails. He attached DT and passes. And I'm able to kill his lone Mew with my Miraidon. So that was very, very fortunate for me. I was able to hit that. So that was pretty insane. And I go to 8-3-1. I'm still in the tournament. I can still take a loss for top 32, and if I want top 8, it's still in the running if I win the rest of my rounds. But it gets even more difficult because in the next round, I hit Magnus Peterson playing Zard Pidgeot. I have the strats for this matchup, and I'm pretty sure it's easier than the Barbarrow matchup than the Zard Bib matchup, which I've already beat 2 already. But unfortunately for me, Magnus does have brain cells, and this matchup is still unfavored. I mean, my other opponents definitely had brain cells, but they were making more mistakes than I would expect Magnus to make for sure. So I don't remember a whole lot. All I remember is getting absolutely rolled in every game and having no shot whatsoever. I think I got like a really bad start. I don't even hit an attack in game 1 or something. I remember really vividly the second game, but I'm just going to say in game 1, I got absolutely rolled. And in game 2, I actually had a really good shot. So what happens is I opt second, which I think is better in the matchup. I think he opted first in game 1, which I thought was a little bit weird because I think it's just objectively better to opt second from both sides in this matchup because I'm trying to make this setup as bad as possible, basically. That's the way I win. So anyways, he goes double Charmander and gets Pidgey down, but he doesn't get that big of a board. So I'm trying to make the decision if I should arm press to like not put him in range of being able to kill me. But I think that's kind of stupid because he can just hit Defiance Belt. So what I end up doing is I end up having to use I use 2 generators and I only hit 1 energy on each of my generator, meaning I have 3 energies on my Iron Head. So I'm like, should I really go for the attack here? Like, okay, his hand is small enough. I think it's worth going for because I think there's a good chance that he whiffs the attack. And even if he hits, I might be able to hit either a boss kill on his Pidgey, and I hit it with the Bravery Charm as well. I go hard for the Bravery Charm. I think I peonied for the Bravery Charm. So like, okay, I'm attacking with the Bravery Charm. I should just go for the Amp here. If he doesn't set up Pidgeot, or if he whiffs the Vacuum or anything, I'll be in a good spot. But the issue is I have to Seal Stone for the generator to get the Amp. In hindsight, was the right play? Not certain, but regardless, I end up going for the Amp. I get the extra generator. It hits at least 1 energy. I go for the Amp. He burns his entire hand to get Candy Pidgeot, Candy Zard. He has nothing in play. He only has 1 Zard, 1 Pidgeot. That's his whole board. He has nothing else. And he's not even taking a kill on my Iron Hands. He's literally just hitting it for 240, praying that I whiff boss. But unfortunately, I had to use my Seal Stone. I don't have access to Luminion at all. I think it's prized. Might have already played it on turn 1. It was one of the 2. I just can't hit Luminion. And I'm only drawing 1 card off Mulex. I miss the boss. And he's able, and all I can do is arm press into his Charizard EX. He Pidgeots for Vacuum, kills me. He benches another Charmander. Kills my Iron Hands, takes 2 prizes. I promote Squawk. And then he kills that as well. I had no Mareep, no Zapdos in place, so I couldn't even force a 1 prize. My only promotion is Squawk. And then in the end, he ends up killing my Squawk. And I played a Disruption, so he has 4 cards in hand. I'm praying he doesn't have either a Rare Candy or an Ultra Ball to kill me. And then I can't even kill the Charizard EX, so I completely lose. He definitely, played fine. He made the right call to go to 0 cards in hand because he was considering going Pidgeot for Iono, which probably would have lost him the game. So good on Magnus. But pretty disappointing that I couldn't either hit more energies off generators or just hit a boss. Round 14. I'm 8-4-1. Not the best record. I have to win the last 2 rounds to get top 32. I'm playing the Mirror. My opponent is a Path Mirror. I have pretty foggy memory on this one, but the set didn't go exceptionally. So yeah, you go second. He has like a Rope Rhydon kill. I don't have 2 basics. And he's just able to stay ahead in prizes the whole game. I'm not able to find my Bravery Charm at any point to really force anything out of him. The real disadvantage I have in this matchup is that he has more access to Bravery Charm than I do. I only play 1. They usually play 2. And so I think I whiffed another kill at some point, and he was able to fully take advantage. He got double Flaffy down. It was really bad. Game 2, I donk a Mareep. He starts Mareep. I have 3 generators, hit 1 energy, and it's the first card, so to kill him with Raikou. So that was great. I hit a lot of donks this tournament. Very fortunate games. In game 3, I was I think at this point I was pretty tilted from how my day went. I like hitting really bad matchups basically the entire day. I mean, it is kind of expected, but it was still kind of disappointing that I was even in this position at this point. And so I ended up making a really, really bad mistake. On turn 1, I Nest Ball, and I go for Miraidon instead of Squawkabilly for some reason. My hand was basically Raichu, Sealstone, and Energy, and a bunch of useless cards. And so for some reason, I decided it's in my best interest to get Miraidon, when realistically, all I'm doing with getting Miraidon is putting an energy on the Miraidon. And I end up having to not end up, but like with this sequence, I had to Raichu Sealstone for Squawk, which is just stupid. I should just Nest Balled for Squawkabilly to begin with. Basically, that ends up costing me because I don't have Sealstone left, and I end up whiffing the attack that turn to do anything. Oh, well, no, I end up whiffing the attack next turn. So I go Mareep Zapdos, pass. He whiffs he doesn't hit the kill on my Zapdos, which I promote to because they usually need DT to Iron Hands turn 1. So if I promote Zapdos, it's unlikely they'll Iron Hands. Like they only take 1 prize, unless they rope. So it's just better to promote Zapdos. But anyways, he ends up killing me with something else, and then I just don't have. And then I just end up whiffing the attack on the next turn because I don't have Sealstone. And I basically just have a fully bricked hand with like Miraidon, a bunch of energies, and Iron Hands. It is useless cards. I can't get an attack off. And even though I was in a favorable winning prize trade, I'm not able to make it work. Even though I try to like attack with Zapdos, I can't make a difference. And I end up going to 8-5-1, which knocks me out of any money. But I can still make top 64 and get 18 packs and 10 championship points, which would have been cool. So I end up hitting a Lost Zone deck where I attack with Dragonite 6 times to win the game. I attack with Iron Hands 6 times to win the game. I go Iron Hands, they concede. Iron Hands, they concede. It was pretty great. It was pretty cool. Pretty sad that happened then and not earlier in the tournament, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, and then I look at the pairings and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make top 64, I'm gonna get 18 packs, I'll sell them, I'll make like, $50, it's gonna be beautiful. I look at the pairings and it's like 30 minutes into the round, like nobody's finished and I'm 56th. Like there's probably a lot of games that have to finish, and I calculate and I'm like, yeah, if all these games finish, I will bubble because my resistance was terrible. Magnus lost like every single round, dude. This guy like absolutely griefed my resistance. This guy started 7-1-1 as well. So these guys all had terrible win rates in the second day. They all griefed my resistance. In the end, I'm watching this game of a Cloth versus a Lost Stone, praying that they tie, because if they tie, I make it. And I'm praying, and this dude, he bibs. This Cloth guy, he bibs. It's the final turn. This Lost Stone counter catches up his Brute Bonnet. And he bibs into the escape rope. Raw draws the escape rope to not tie. And I whiff. Obviously 4. But it is what it is. At least I get day 2 with this Miraidon deck. It's not a terrible result. But Magnus, you owe me one for griefing my resistance. anyways, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. I will see you later. Bye. Dude, like, Magnus is actually such a troll, dude. I'm still tilted to this day, dude. Magnus, if you're seeing this, dude, I already told him. He actually just sucks at the game. He went 2-4 in day 2. He started 7-1-1, hit me at 8-3-1, and then managed to lose his last 2 rounds so that I whiffed. Like, dude, actual griefer, man.